Hi, I'm Briana. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make Plarn today. Plarn is plastic yarn. You can make it out of any kind of plastic bag. I'm using a pita, like kitchen plastic bag. We also have like regular plastic grocery bags that we're using, and I had like a chip bag that I also made some pieces with, so you can use anything. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to fold it so that you can cut it most efficiently. So you fold it over in half like that, and then once more, and you want it to be a strip about 1.5 to 2 inches wide to be able to cut it easily. And then you cut pieces about 1 inch wide, and you just repeat that all the way down the bag until you finish the whole thing. Okay, so when you get to the end, you have all these little strips that eventually we're going to string together to make the Plarn. If you're using a bag like this, once you fold it and then get to the end here where you have the handles, you can just stop cutting the strips from that point, and then you can use these end pieces to like tie on for decoration or make other things. But this part of the bag is easiest to use for Plarn. So then once you have your little pieces, you're just going to loop them together. So I'm going to use some pieces that I already had cut to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is I just kind of lay one on my knee, and then you're going to cross the other piece over and then pull it through like that. So I'll show you one more time with another piece. So you just kind of lay that flat. I just kind of, you can see my grip there, but it's whatever's comfortable for you. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it. So then once again, you just lay it over the top like that, and then pull it under the other piece that you're holding in your, I guess, chain hand, the part that's already holding the rest of your chain. So eventually, once you string all of your pieces together, and you have a really long chain, then you'll just roll it into its own little ball. And how I do it is I just kind of wrap it around one finger like that, and then circle and kind of do a little figure 8 pattern. And do that like 4 or 5 times, and then I'll take it off of my fingers and kind of wrap around the middle a couple times, and then I fold it over to make the little base for the ball, and then just start wrapping in no particular way, just whatever feels right to make it into a circular shape. And once it gets bigger, it'll be easier to wrap, so you just kind of have to keep a tight grip on it at the beginning. Woo! And if you drop it, that's okay too. You just pick it up and keep going. So here is our finished little mini Plarn ball, and once you get to the end, you can just kind of take the last one that you wrapped and just loop the piece through and pull it tight, and then you can have a little handle. That's it. So depending on what your project is, you'll need a different size Plarn ball. I'm going to make a little dish scrubby, to little reusable dish sponge with Plarn and then 2 different colors of yarn to give it a little flair. So what you do is you just get the end pieces, and once you get them together, it's easy. Give yourself about, I would say, close to 1 foot to start with, and you're going to hold about at the halfway point between your middle finger and your thumb, and okay, maybe like 5-inch tail, and hold it at between your middle finger and your thumb, and then you're going to loop over your index finger and then catch it here and go over and make a V. And then you're going to stick the crochet hook between the two sides and pull the back inside strand forward like that. And when you let go, you're going to keep holding on to the side that's still connected to the string. Whoops. And make sure you keep all your strands on the hook. And then you're going to pull it tight like that. And I'm just going to leave its tail on for now, just so we can move forward and I can show you how to complete the chain. So you pull it tight on the hook like that, and then you want to hold the side that's still connected to your other balls down here. And just kind of separate out the tail and hold it off to the side with your other hand that's holding the crochet hook. And then whoop, you're going to go around and over the top of the hook and then grab onto the original piece, and you're going to slide the new pieces through that to add another loop to your chain. And that's all of the motions that you need to know, or that we're going to start with. That's just the single loop chain. And so then you just repeat that again, going over, grab the original loop, and then pull the new pieces forward, making another chain the same size as the previous, or close to the same size as the previous one. And then you just repeat that to do that about 4 or 5 times to make the dish schmoozy, or the dish, I can't talk, to make the dish scrubby. And then you're going to circle it around. Well, here, I'm going to do one more. And then you're going to circle it around like that and stick the crochet hook back through the original chain. Which hopefully I gave enough room to do, yeah. So you stick it back through the original chain, and then you're going to kind of push both sides down on this part of the crochet hook so that it's free for it to loop around again. And then you're going to do the same motion. You're going to loop around, but this time rather than pulling it through one, you're going to pull it through both loops that are already on the hook to connect them and make it into a circle. And then you're going to repeat that motion by just looping through the next petal on the little flower that you've made. So if you want to kind of go in, you see how this is where we are and this is where that's feeding from, so you just go right into the petal that's right next to it with your crochet hook, like that, and then you wrap around again and pull through both. And then again, it's feeding from right there, so you're going to go right here to the one right next to that, and make sure you're pulling all three yarn balls or Plarn ball. And oh, keep the tail out of there. And then once again, you loop around and then pull through both. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around, continue to spiral around in the same direction, going to the next petal until you complete your dish scrubby, which you'll see in probably 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so once you get your scrubby the size that you want it, you can just kind of pull out with the hook and make yourself a little loop that you can stick your finger through. And then cut about 4 or 5 inches down and just give yourself enough of a string so that you can loop through and tie the knot. So you're just gonna stick it through that loop, the last loop, and then pull it tight so that you knot it right there after the last loop. And then if you want, you can do another knot just to make sure it's secure. pull it nice and tight. And then you can leave these on if you want. It can look like a little comet, or if you twirl it around, it's you know, meteor flying through space, whatever you want it to be. Yeah, now you have a little dish scrubby, and you can, if it goes down in the bottom, you can grab it by its strings and pull it back up. Or yeah.
So it can get wet?
Huh?
It can get wet?
Yeah, it can get wet, and the plastic is a good material. It's nice and like abrasive, so it actually gets stuff off of your dishes pretty well. And you can throw it in the washing machine with your towels or whatever and wash it and reuse it until it falls apart or doesn't. You should be able to get a couple, like a month or two's use out of it. So, and then after that you can wash it, and it could be a pet toy, or can cut it up and make stuffing for little mini pillows, or if you have a lot of them, big pillows, or anything else you can come up with.
What's the benefit of making Plarn?
Well, it gets plastic bags out of landfills where they usually would end up and take hundreds to thousands of years to decay, and rather than only, you know, using it for something once, like on your way home from the grocery store, and then either maybe you get a couple more uses, like a bathroom trash bin or something, you can actually turn it into something else and use it to make, you know, a reusable grocery bag. Like I use this to get all of my produce from the grocery store whenever I go and around. But you can make just about anything with it. Anything that you can crochet, you can make with Plarn, and it'll be durable and it'll last you a long time and get plastic out of the environment. Your dish scrubby, you can use it to clean your dishes.
Yeah.